The Junk Dumper Reviews, Dr. Junk Dumper Reviews, PhD. Why is he here today? Why am I here today? Is it to talk about Mike Isertel's dissertation? No, no. Is it to talk about a lot of other funny things going on in the world? No, it's not. Although I have a lot in common with PhDs, because oftentimes I carry but also write potentially hilarious documents. And so that's probably why I'm here. So yeah, no, that's not why I'm here. Why I am here is, believe it or not, is to see what we can do about solving the problem for Hasan. Hasan has a dog. I think her name is Kyla or something. Very cute dog. And I thought we could solve the problem of Hasan without getting in trouble with Hasan or his community, right? Because this is the thing, right? We don't want to be running around chasing squirrels like so many people do. We want to get to the truth, and we want to get to the bottom of solving problems. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go and walk it back. We're going to find the problem first, and then we're going to walk it back from there instead of chasing the squirrels. Because when you chase squirrels, usually what happens is drama. Drama follows you. And then bad things happen to you, to the people in question, right? Because we could be chasing drama. Oh, is this person good? Is this person bad? Did they do this? Did they do that? And at the end of the day, all that happens is people lose careers, or something bad happens that turns into violence. All this kind of stuff. And do we really want that? Does that really help anything? Does it make it better? Well, I mean, if you want clicks and views, and your channel to get to the top of the thing, or you want to get that career that you really wanted, then lie, because that's how everybody does things. I realized, as somebody who was not willing to lie on his resume, was not willing to do a lot of things that other people were willing to do, the good guys finish last, right? The good guys always finish last. But, so, let's get to the meat and potatoes, as they say. I'm vegan, but we're just going to use the common sayings, because that's what we're doing today. Anyway, so Hasan and Kyla, the cute puppy. So what's the problem? The problem is Hasan, I believe, has said as much, that the doctor that he went to has stated something about the dog can't be laying or hanging on a hard floor or something like that. I don't know. So if that's the problem, then his solution is to force the dog to stay on this little tiny square or rectangular bed. And therefore, that is where the poor dog has to stay all day. And if it moves out of that place, he's worried about the dog's health. Oh no, what should we do? So he's doing this, what is it called? Placement training, right? Spot training, whatever. It's not spot cleaning for sure. But anyway, here's the problem. Okay. So the problem is the dog could get injured, right? So he is worried about the dog, and he's like, oh no, the dog must stay in this place. First of all, when you have a big dog and you have a small space, you're trying to derange the nature of the dog. Big dogs don't like to be in one place, right? So one potential solution for the problem is get a rug. These people like Hasan have huge YouTube channels. They make money. They've got money coming out of their ears, their nose. So if you're worried about the dog getting hurt, create a larger space for the dog to be able to be in. So you get him a rug. But also the fact is, a dog, just like a human, imagine yourself. Imagine you were Kyla the dog. Could you stay put in one area unless you're napping or whatever? Could you do that? I know that I would go crazy. I mean, I had to do that. Just think about the kids that are, especially the young men stuck in school systems. That's pretty much it. You know, you have to stay seated at this desk all day long. I mean, it's against our nature. So then you think about dogs, right? You could ask any veterinarian, the larger the dog, the more space it needs to move. These are not robots. These are not statues. So for you to train the dog to stay in a place all day long is abuse, no matter how you slice it. And then if you want the dog to sleep in a lit room with somebody screaming at clouds all day long, that's also abuse. We know that dogs, for instance, don't do very well with loud sounds. They have extremely acute hearing, right? So the point here is, even if you wanted the dog to just nap through whatever 4 or 5 hours a day while you're streaming, that's not a reasonable ask for an animal. It's just like, putting your animal next to fireworks all day long and then expecting it to take a nap. It's just not going to happen. So my suggestion would be to allow the dog to wander around the room, which is what all the other streamers do when they have streams, and definitely do not shock it. Now, again, there is no perfect evidence that the dog was shocked or not, so we're not going to get into that. That is not something that I'm going to do. But the point is, how can we make Kyla's life better? Instead of attacking Hasan, but you got to do it, bro. You got to attack Hasan. Don't you know, Hasan, just by the name, you got to attack Hasan. No, I'm not going to do that. How can we make Kyla's life better, right? Because again, he's going and doing what he can with his money. Like he thought the solution is, I'm going to, get someone expensive to train the dog so that it can do this. But this is deranging the nature of the dog. So someone who doesn't know, who's not an expert in animals, wouldn't know this. And so you're going to have to give them the benefit of the doubt. So, as I said, a cheap solution would be maybe a rug. So if the dog decides to wander around and lay around somewhere else, they're still safe. I don't know. I don't know that a dog laying on a hard surface is going to hurt the dog. I don't know that. To be honest, I sleep on the floor. So, but again, I'm a human, not a dog. That's often been questioned. So we won't go into that either, but still, there's no evidence that sleeping on a floor is going to derange your joints. As a matter of fact, my neck has never been feeling better. My back has never been feeling better than sleeping on a hard surface. So again, this is probably another potential hilarious document that some scientists like Dr. Mike Israetel may have come up with. So we don't know. But anyway, my point was, find the problem, find a solution instead of attacking Hasan. And hopefully Hasan sees this video and is like, well, maybe, I could put my money to good use and find a nanny for the dog for 5 hours. I mean, rich enough. Or you could just get a rug and let the dog wander around the room. And maybe when you're like screaming at clouds extra loud and the dogs are very much, they fear this. They don't like this. They don't like loud sounds. It drives them, out of their mind. They don't like it. So maybe you could pet the dog.